My mentality was to go out and win at any cost. If you don't want to live that regimented mentality, then you don't need to be alongside of me, because I'm going to ridicule you until you get on the same level with me. And if you don't get on the same level, then it's going to be hell for you. Look, I don't have to do this. I'm only doing it because it is who I am. That's how I played the game. That was my mentality. If you don't want to play that way, don't play that way. Break.
Between LeBron and MJ, right? And now, given the information we just heard from Steve Kerr, Michael Jordan himself just came out and said, I don't know how people are going to look at me after they see this docuseries. They might feel different. When it's all said and done, do you believe LeBron might come out looking better than MJ?
Hell no. Not even a little bit. Please don't get me started with that. First of all, let me say this about Steve Kerr. I don't believe him, with all due respect, and I love the man. He's a beautiful person and a damn great coach as well, and a five-time champ. We all know what he brings. I don't believe him for 1 second. Nobody was in a position to say anything or take any position against Scottie Pippen other than Michael Jordan. That's why you heard all of that quiet and everybody's going to sound supportive. You can't be a teammate with a guy who we all love and respect because he was great, who goes on the record and says, you know what, I didn't give a damn. I said, I'm not going to get the surgery early because I ain't want to F up my summer, and then turn around and say you support that, because that's not thinking about the team. That's number one. Number two, Michael Jordan had been underpaid for years, just like Scottie Pippen had been underpaid by the Chicago Bulls. He just honored this contract and went on the court and handled his business every single damn night. Number three, when we compare MJ to LeBron, can we stop the nonsense, please? If you want to make the argument that LeBron James looks better because the competition he went against in the NBA Finals was superior, pretty much the San Antonio Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Throw a series against the Dallas Mavericks in there, which he lost, and one against a young Oklahoma City squad, which he won. But it's primarily against San Antonio and Golden State. I understand that. But what about the road to prosperity? What about the road to the NBA Finals? Do you know who Michael Jordan had to go up against? How about Larry Bird with McHale and Ainge and Dennis Johnson and those boys in Boston? How about the Detroit Pistons, the bad boys with Isaiah, Rodman, Sally, Lambeer, Mahorn, Dumas, and the crew, and Vinny the Microwave Johnson? When you win your first title, you won against Magic Johnson. When you won your second title, you won against Clyde Drexler. When you won your third title, you won against Barkley and Marley and them. But before you got there, you had to go against Pat Riley's Rough Rider Knicks. You had to go up against the Indiana Pacers. We forget about Cleveland with Larry Nance, Mark Price, and the crew. You know, Matt Doherty and those boys. At the road, LeBron James was in an Eastern Conference that was soft as cottonelle tissue and still loaded up by Jordan, D. Wade, and Bosh before he learned how to win. Michael Jordan had to go through hell and back, where we got James Worthy on the air saying, I didn't know how he lived, how he survived. I mean, that's what they were putting him through. LeBron never had to go through something like that. So don't talk to me about LeBron ever looking better than MJ, because that ain't happening. Ain't happening.
Not by the end of this 10-part series, Stephen A. Not by the end of The Last Dance. I don't think LeBron will look better than Jordan. And not in your eyes or my eyes, or I think a sober analysis of the facts. And by the way, even, LeBron's faced stiffer competition in the finals, Jordan eliminated more 60-win teams from the playoffs than anyone. He had a better record in the playoffs versus 60-win teams. Like, people are forgetting how good the teams were that Jordan beat, even on the way to the playoffs, a 60-win, on the finals, a 60-win Orlando team, then a 64-win Seattle team, and the Jazz were winning 60-plus games several seasons when Jordan played them in the finals. Look, I don't think LeBron will look better by the end of the doc. And in fact, so far, Jordan looks really good.
All right. So you just talking to me about the ignorant that's going to say they right. You ain't talking to me about people who know basketball and know sports, all right, that are going to sit up there and say, hell no. LeBron, I appreciate his political stances. Please don't get me wrong. It took him a decade plus to get to that point. That's fine. How he get to that point? Who built the league that he ultimately took to another level and helped prosper? That would be MJ. That would be Michael Jordan, who, by the way, was sitting up there. It was him that facilitated cats getting paid so they could be secure enough to get bold. I get bold, too. If you put $1 billion in my pocket, I tell you, I get real bold.
And if we're still alive when that documentary comes out,
please.
If we're still alive when that doc comes out, they will interview one of us or both for the other point of view. There'll be guys in our generation who are really old, but they go, oh, Jordan's even better. And the young kids will be laughing at us. And, of course, the joke's on them, nevertheless.
They ain't going to bother with you. They ain't going to bother with you. You might be too nice.